What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. I've done my best to try to cover Splitgate 2 ever since its launch. Actually, since the beta, really. I've enjoyed my time on this game. I really think it's a good game with a solid foundation, which is why it brings me no pleasure to report that they have let some team members go over at 1047 Games, which is the development studio for Splitgate 2. They released this statement addressing those team members leaving the development team. Today, we parted ways with a small group of valued 1047 Games team members. We're still perfecting the Splitgate 2 gameplay experience in response to community feedback, and we are redirecting resources to build the best game for our players. We are sad to see our teammates go, and we are actively working to help them secure new opportunities. Further, our co-founders Ian Prue and Nick Bagamian have opted not to take salaries as we lock in to deliver the next phase of our project. Thank you to those who built alongside us. We are sad to say goodbye, and we would not be here without you. To everyone who's playing Splitgate 2, we're continuing to work hard to deliver more things we know you'll love. We are committed to building this game for the long haul. End of statement. Now, there's two ways to look at these layoffs and to look at a statement like this. There's the optimistic way of looking at this, which is how I personally am going to look at it and say maybe they overhired developers for this game to be launched in the window they want it launched for, right? They wanted to launch it in the summertime so that players had all summer to play it before they had competition like Call of Duty and Battlefield and GTA 6. Now, of course, we know GTA 6 is a year away, but nonetheless, I don't think that a game like this wants to even try to release at any point near GTA 6. Even if it's nowhere near the same type of gameplay, trust me, most gamers are going to be flocking to GTA 6. That's just the reality of how big that game is going to be. But I digress. That's the optimistic view, saying a lot of these people were there for the launch, and they're probably just refining the development team to make sure they're focusing on what's important and just cutting some of the baggage. That's all this is. But there's also the other point of view, the more pessimistic, negative way to look at this and say, this could point to their game underperforming versus expectations. I know through the subreddit and on Twitter a little bit, people are a little concerned about this game's population right now on Steam. And I'll show you guys the Steam charts. I'll say the same thing I say with Call of Duty. It's not the end all be all, but it is concerning because we're not seeing an upward trajectory. It's actually going downward. This game is not doing enough to retain players. What's really the problem? What could be the reason behind this? Well, some people are saying that the game itself is a departure from what made Splitgate 1 original. Others will say the lack of game modes. Like, yeah, there's an arena quick play, but you can't select just split ball, or you can't select just firecracker, or you can't select just domination. You're forced to play all these different modes almost randomly. There's no map or game mode selector whatsoever. And then on top of it, some of the more fun game modes like Shoddy Snipes, Fiesta, No Portals, they're locked behind a rotating set list of different gameplay or game types, pardon me. And that also leads to players almost picking and choosing when they want to play, depending on if their favorite playlist is available during that time. Like you guys are seeing Fiesta gameplay right now. I absolutely adore this mode. It's a fantastically fun mode. Why isn't it here all the time? Why wasn't it here at launch? No, I had to wait a week for it. Where is Shoddy Snipes? Where are all these other game modes that I'm sure they could inject into this game to really make it a little bit deeper? Those are fair criticisms, and this is what concerns people about the game's overall health. If they do care about putting players first, if they do care about having players at the top of their priority list, why don't they have more game modes? I know they're concerned about siphoning off the player base and trying to push players into the same small or select amount of categories, but giving players more choice is actually a good thing and could lead for more players to come play your game and stay for the long haul. Now, the other part of this that does lead us down that pessimistic path, because I know it's been long-winded already, but we started off with the optimistic view, and we're still talking about the pessimistic side, the negative side of this, right? And one of those other aspects comes from this statement where the co-founders, Ian and Nick, aren't taking a salary right now. Is that because the game financially isn't successful? Or is that a statement to the rest of the team saying, we're committed to you guys. We don't need a salary. We don't want to lose any more team members. It doesn't matter what the scenario is. Neither is usually good. When a CEO comes out and is like, whoa, guys, I'm not going to take a salary anymore, a lot of times that's a sign of trouble. And that's not what I want to come here and say, right? Like, I want games like Splitgate 2 to succeed the same way I wanted X-Defiant to succeed, but it's kind of starting to be a parallel between the two. You're starting to see some similarities. A launch that didn't quite go as good as planned. An idea to put players first, but not really creating the best vision for players. Having a weird monetization structure that hurts the game instead of helps it. All of this is leading us down to a similar path. And I don't want to see that for Splitgate 2. I don't want to see this game be shut down in a year's time because it wasn't successful enough. I don't want that, and you guys shouldn't either. So really, I don't know what to make of this. This isn't me definitively saying the game is dying or don't play it or whatever it might be. This is more me just saying that it does create some concern. It doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy inside about this game right now. And that's problematic. Like, I want to see this game succeed. I want more games like Splitgate 2 to be made, to come out and try to find success, because it's important that this space is not dominated by like 5 games. And that's unfortunately what it is right now if you're an FPS player. And when they're dominated by 5 big companies that don't really have our best interests at heart, it makes the overall experience a lot less enjoyable. And games like Splitgate 2 should be able to exist and should be able to thrive. But they need to learn from their mistakes. And unfortunately, they don't have the ability to take time to learn from them. They have to get it right and get it right quick. So hopefully that's what we see from 1047 moving forward, is the decisions they make propel them to be better, propel them to be more successful. Because you can't continue to make missteps. Unfortunately, you can only trip up the stairs so many times as an indie developer. You don't have $1 billion backing or name recognition like Call of Duty to continue to hold your hand as you trip up those stairs. It's just not going to work. So that's kind of what I wanted to say about this. Again, I'm optimistic. I'm hopeful for this game. Do not take this video as an indictment, me saying that the game is dying and I'm issuing them a death sentence. No, it's not what I'm trying to do here. But I do want to see things improve. I do want to see things change because I think there is a good game here. I think we have somewhat of a gem here. I just wish we got more of it. That's all. So that's it for the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, can you please hit that like button? If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.